Chapter 44 Xiangshan. The once orderly group scattered in an instant, as everyone fled in different directions. But the black bear only pursued the man with glasses. It's over. It's over. The man muttered in despair as he stumbled around the room. Oh God, I'm really going to die this time. In less than 10 steps, the black bear had cornered him against the wall. His legs gave out entirely, and he slunk to the ground, unable to move. Leaning against the wall, he glanced back, only to be met with the terrifying sight of the bear's massive black face. It was ugly, menacing, and reeked of decay. The bear lowered its snout and sniffed his face. His complexion turned pale as he stared blankly ahead. Even as the bear's maw neared his neck, he dared not move. The man mumbled to himself, "I'm not going home. Maman, don't wait for me." Just as the bear opened its foul, rotting jaws, preparing to bite down, a shout came from the man lying on the ground nearby. "Hey, time's up. Are you trying to cheat? No more killing," Zhou Jiajin yelled. Everyone turned to look. The countdown on the electronic clock on the wall had reached 0. In the next moment, a distant iron door suddenly swung open, and the black bear froze in place. A powerful force burst from the door, pulling there in as if it were a mere leaf in the wind. It let out a faint howl before being swiftly dragged into the unseen force behind the door. The game was over. They had survived. It's over. After a few minutes, a girl's trembling voice broke the silence. "The bear is gone." The girls slowly stood up, hugging each other and crying with relief. A man with glasses seemed to have been scared senseless. Sitting on the floor, gasping for air, Zhou Jiajin stretched his sore muscle, holding his aching stomach, exhausted. "That was rough. Thanks to your ego catches the chicks plan. We made it." Though He Zha stood up but didn't respond, his expression instead filled with worry. "What's wrong?" Zhou Jiajin asked. "Do you think they made it?" He Zha asked, referring to TNT and Lin Huang. Zhou Jiajin understood immediately but didn't dare to guess. No one knew what had happened in the other room. Were they being hunted by a black bear? Had their team managed to work together and come up with a plan like eagle catches the chicks? Turning around, they saw the staircase they had descended repairing behind them. "Let's not overthink it. We'll just go check." Zhou Jiajin patted Xia's shoulder. "Let's go." Old Lu helped the man with glasses to his feet. Supporting each other, slowly climbed back up the stairs to the room with the chairs. The Minotaur was standing there, waiting for their triumphant return. 9 survivors. The Minotaur paused briefly. "Not bad, Master," Zhou Jiajin muttered under his breath. "One day, I'm going to beat the crap out of these guys." "Please wait a moment. The other room's group has yet to return." The Minotaur gestured for them to sit. Without hesitation, the group collapsed into the chairs. After surviving the deadly bear, nothing here could seem more terrifying. After 2 minutes, Zhou Jiajin grew restless. "Hey, old bull, is their game not over yet? You both started at the same time. It should have ended, but they haven't returned yet." The Minotaur replied. He Zha frowned, feeling a headache coming on. He held his forehead and asked, "If the game's over, but no one's come back, doesn't that mean they all died?" "I don't know." The Minotaur shook its head. "Please remain seated. Don't rush." How could anyone not be anxious? The teams had been randomized, meaning almost everyone in the room had teammates in the other group. Honest of the man with glasses, who was speaking quietly with the middle-aged man beside him. "What? No way!" the middle-aged man suddenly exclaimed. The man with glasses quickly waved at him, trying to explain quietly. "No, no, no, I don't agree." The middle-aged man shook his head furiously. "Like a rattle, I need Jiang Shan to decide this." "Huh!" Zha scoffed, more or less guessing the content of their conversation. After a nerve-wracking 5 or 6 minutes, they heard heavy footsteps slowly approaching from behind the door. Behind those steps came the sound of many others following. It seemed their team had a decent number of survivors. 2, 8 all men slowly emerged from the darkness. his stern face surveying the group before a faint smile appeared. Down. You're all still alive? Xiang Xiang. The man with glasses ran up excitedly. That's great. You're not A.H. He screamed and quickly backed away. The sight before him was horrifying. The man named Zhang Shan had been standing in the shadows, his full appearance hidden, but as he stepped into the light, his body was revealed. Covered in blood and deep scars across his chest, he carried two dark objects under his right arm, like to thick tree branches. Behind him, Tian and Lin Huang also emerged from the doorway. Zhou Yijin quickly looked them over. You two okay? We're fine, Tian said with a strained smile. How about you? Same old. Zhou Yijin shook his head, exasperated. We survived thanks to KXIA's Eagle Catches the Chicks plan. Huh? Tian looked at Kaizhou in disbelief. You're telling me Kaizhou came up with another plan? Even Lin Kuang was skeptical. Didn't you say you'd handle the bull-type game yourself? Don't remind me. Zhou Yijin cursed. It's one thing if it's a human, but a black bear? Who in the world could fight a black bear? Tian and Lin Kuang exchanged glances before awkwardly saying, well, someone might actually be able to kill a bear. Hu Jia and Zhou Jin turned to look at the strong man named Jiang Shan. Could it be he killed a bear? They watched as Xiang Shan's teammates emerged one by one, counting exactly 10 survivors. Their team had no losses. Jiang Shan casually tossed the two things under his arms onto the floor and slumped into a chair. Exhausted. Old Bull, you sure didn't hold back, huh? Sending out bears like that. Everyone looked down, realizing what Xiang Shan had thrown wasn't branches. A two-bloodied black bear for arms.